Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release. Catch It Now, the new live show where you can see the entire video game industry evolving slowly over time. Very, very slowly. Welcome to the beginning of July 1982, where we last played Golf Challenge on the Atari home computer. I had such high hopes for this. It's Sierra, it's a golf game, it's on your computer, but it just didn't deliver. Let's press forward and see our next game. After this commercial break.
Qualified for the classic, the Grand Prix. Grand Prix by Activision, a video racing game you play on your Atari video computer system.
Get psyched.
Every video racing game till now was a trial run for Grand Prix. Grand Prix puts the feel of a Formula racer in your hands, the sound and fury of a real race in your head. But don't get carried away. It's only a game. Or is it? Grand Prix by Activision.
They're already throwing that out. Or is it a game or not? You can really tell a difference in the commercial when they pan from real cars to the game. It's very, very obvious, but it is cool how they get that little similarity between holding the joystick and the gear shifter. I'll take it. This is Grand Prix. He was pronouncing it all wrong, isn't it? Grand Prix? For the Atari VCS, let's take a look at Grand Prix, starting with the box. Oh yes, this is by Activision. Look for that rainbow. They got it in the streaks of the car. Sweet. And then we flip it over on the back. Conceived and designed by David Crane, the latest by David Crane. One driver at a time. You only need one joystick because it is one player. Buckle up, snap your chin strap, adjust your goggles, and get ready to handle a high-powered Formula racing machine. This is the Grand Prix of video game racing games. The first game to ever give you the real feel and action of a world-class racer. Now remember, you're in the store, you're about to buy the game, this is what you read on the back of the box, unless you've read in magazines or seen some pictures. So is it really that real? We're going to see now. Yes. That's a good point. They didn't call it Grand Prix. It's Grand Prix. Maybe that's, yeah, there has to be something legal there. You only hear all the sound and fury of a true Grand Prix event. Your engine whines louder and higher as your car reaches maximum RPM. Your wheels hum faster on the asphalt. Competitors zoom by, and if you hit the brakes, your tires squeal on the pavement. It is true. I really love the sound in this game. It's you against the clock, road against the other drivers, and a race against time. It is the latest by Activision. Let's see the other artwork we have for Grand Prix. Oh, here we go. This is the actual box and then reconstructed. Disgusting and beautiful. But in my opinion, I prefer the cringy one. And there's the ad you would have seen at the magazines at the time. Gentlemen, start your engines. The classic of the Grand Prix. Grand Prix. And if you were good enough and fast enough, this is the patch you would have gotten from Activision. As usual, they got a competition, and there it is. So cool that they had these. And if you were even cooler than that, you had the Activision Grand Prix Racing Team right here. Get me one of those jackets. That's awesome. And then we also have the cartridge you would have popped in. They still have shown you the games that you can select from, the 4 different game options, and it has David Crane displayed on the cartridge. Got to give the developers credit. That's right, yeah, after we go from Enduro to this, it's a totally different world. All right, so we also have the examples as screenshots, and we got the manual. Let's see what Grand Prix is all about. That's really very vibrant colors there. You're about to enter the race of your life. Nothing stands between you and victory except the clock. Take a little time with these instructions. You may emerge as the Grand Prix world record holder. Yes, that does look like something you wear at a roller rink, right? Back in 1982, I would have been so cool. So it tells you how the basics, what the difficulty switches do. They have no effect whatsoever. You have 4 different games. Game 1 is the Watkins Glen, if you're familiar with these tracks. Game 2 is the Brands Hedge. Game 3 is Le Mans. They have Le Mans in this. And then Game 4 is Monaco. And it shows how many bridges you have. To play, you push the reset, as usual on the Atari system. You want to gain speed, you just hold down that red button on the accelerator. Shifting is automatic, which is really interesting because we've seen Drag Race, which allowed you to shift, and it was a little more complicated. It was like a simulation. Here they make it really simple. Just hold the red button down and then go, and the car's just going to get faster and faster. How do you slow down? You just let go of the red button. Very simple. As far as controls, the joystick moves up and down, and the object of the game is complete a race circuit in the shortest possible time. The faster you do it, then you can be part of Activision's club. Watch out for oil slicks, crashes, they will happen. You just don't touch any other cars. And then steering response, as a real racing car, your steering becomes more responsive the faster you go. Expect the car to react faster when you push the joystick at high speeds. In other words, they're saying your car moves quick, you're going to moving up and down a little bit quicker. And then we have bridges. As your car enters the bridge, your elapsed time is displayed and held. Normal time is resumed as your car leaves the bridge. If you scrape the side of the bridge, you'll hear it and the car will slow down. If you crash into it, it'll stop altogether. You'll have to steer around across it while the clock continues to run. There's the example. They give us the screenshot, and I don't believe it's a real one. It's got to be fabricated, but they break down the things you can see on the screen. Opponents' cars. Wow, you don't really have to use a lot of imagination here. There is very good graphics for the Atari 2600. We suggest you take it easy at first. A couple of slow practice runs through the courses will help you get the feel of the track. Thanks. And then how do you join the Activision Grand Prix driving team? Look at the times you need here. You got to get those times, and then they show the world record. So to be on the driving team, you need that time, and then they have the current world record, which I believe all these have been beaten. There have been better players all there. Oh, yeah, that's right. 76 Grand Prix. Yeah. All right. So let's go down to the bottom. You can see there he is. Oh, he's smiling at us. Mr. David Crane, the award-winning senior designer at Activision. His games include Dragster, Fishing Derby, Laser Blast, and Freeway. Just as in the real Grand Prix race, feel and control are very important. You better know your car and its responses, the better you'll do. Here's some tips. Thanks. David Crane giving us tips. Too cool. And there's the manual we have for Grand Prix. For other versions, this was released in Europe or PAL regions and also by CCE. We're going to play the original by Activision. David Crane in the beginning of July 1982. Gentlemen, start your engines. So the game begins as most Atari games do. We have to select which game we want. We see game 2, 3, and 4, and it's just the track. Let's start on game 1 and then hit reset. And we're in. Oh, there's the sound effects. When I think of racing games, or sounds of racing games, this is the game I think of. The way that you can hear the Doppler effect passing the cars, very, very nice touch. Oh gosh. We've already seen several racing games on different systems, and this one chooses to do something very simple, almost like Drag Race. It's just scrolling left to right, but there is no turns. It's essentially how quickly or how fast can you get. Gosh, look at this, but I've never seen the speed. This feels like you're going way, way fast for an Atari VCS game. And take a look at the cars. We've already seen Activision games have this really cool fade or blend of color. This is the very first game. Look at the car. The car is fading colors in, and this is the first Atari game where David Crane was able to fade the colors of an object on the Atari system, and because it kind of looked like racing stripes, he wanted to turn it into this, which ended up becoming Grand Prix. All right, let's try game mode 3 now. This is the Le Mans. I believe it's the longest one. Let's go. There also was another game we played called Grand Prix, spelled with G-R-A-N-D, on the Astrocade, and we also had auto racing that was on Intellivision. We've seen other games for the home console that allow you to scroll, but they haven't involved turns, kind of like Micro Machines or the Formula One Racer by Sid Meier. So this kind of screen is actually very simple. We're not turning, making different directions, but man, look at that speed. It is so fast. And the sound effects are top-notch. Whoa. Watch out for the oil slicks. There's the bridge. I wasn't expecting it. I'm glad we made it, though. It passed by so fast. One of the things I love about this game is you get in this groove where you want to see how fast... you want to see how fast the car goes, and whenever you stop, it really feels... It hurts. It feels like, oh man, I want to see this car go faster and faster. It bums you out whenever you slow down. And freaks you out. You got that flash on the screen. I don't know if they did Venetian blinds or not. That'd be awesome. Oh, that's right. You can also pull back on the joystick to get a little break there. There it is. So we got a second bridge. It should be coming up soon. Nope, not there. I was trying to stay in the middle for the bridge. Love the sound effects. There it is. There's the second bridge on the home stretch. I didn't know the Le Mans was this easy. It's just one straight shot. Man, it sounds so cool. As far as gameplay, though, all I'm having to do is move up and down. If I move to the right with my joystick, it doesn't do anything. And the gear shifting happens automatically. Just hold the red button down. And when you want to slow down, just let go. So it's more of a dodge game. Can you dodge the cars and avoid obstacles? Oh, I see the tech demo. Gotcha. Yeah, we haven't. I'm not familiar with that one. We haven't been checking out demos because we already have enough video games on our plate to check out. But yeah, I need to see that. Nice and easy. There we go. And the victory, the win. Let's go one more with Monaco and reset. This one's a little bit longer. This is the hardest track, and this is only a one-player game. We've played games that allow for 2 people to drive at once, but the video game is more, the racing game is more of like a sprint variant. It's a top-down. You can see the entire track. Oh, they trapped me in there. And so there's no scrolling. Everything's displayed on one screen. This one gives you a real sense of speed, more than any other console game that's out there. Even the one we played on Intellivision that allows you to scroll around the screen, it doesn't feel this fast. It's a snail's pace compared to this. That's what it feels like. Gosh, or that's the psychedelic tunnel at the end of 2001. It's flipping me out with all the flashing. Okay, there's our first tunnel. All the cars you see are random, so there's nothing you can memorize. Anyone that's gotten the world record or were part of the program that Activision put together, you were just lucky to be able to get to the end. You weren't memorizing where the car locations were. Really nice animation on the wheels, too. We've seen far better on the home computer, but as far as the console, driving games, there's not too many to compare to. This one is different, and it works really well for the VCS. Let's go. And like I saw in the chat, it's a really far cry from Enduro. What we saw back in 77, 78, I believe. There, the sound. Sound effects are so good. And when you get that timing right, where you're dodging the cars, it feels really good. Oh yeah, I wasn't going to dodge that. It goes so fast, it almost feels like it's glitching out. Oh, that's me testing out my brakes. Wow. That's a good point. It has simple gameplay, so it's not extremely detailed. It reminds me of another David Crane release, Freeway, where you're having to cross the street as a chicken, and it had gameplay really similar to some arcade games we played in the 70s. This one's very similar to another arcade game we played in the 70s where you essentially just had to dodge the traffic. In a way, though, they've just been doing racing games that same way. Like even Turbo by Sega, which would be the really cool scaling, or beginning of scaling in arcade games. Turbo still was essentially, you're just dodging the cars. It was just from a cool viewpoint to make you feel like you're in the race. So there you go. That is Grand Prix for the Atari VCS. Of all the games you could play on a home console, this one is very, very cool, very good, but it's not something I would say is one of the best games you could play on a home console. There's been other racing games, but nothing really gives you this sense of speed. As far as gameplay, though, I can't go anything further than maybe 3.5 or 4 stars. It is in the good range. It's really, really good for the time, considering everything else you could play, and you'd have a lot of fun. Sound effects are great. Graphics are great. So for Grand Prix, I'm going to go with 4 stars. Go ahead and throw your ratings out now on the Atari VCS. I remember fondly playing this one, listening how good the sounds are, and how good it felt to go really, really fast on a game for the first time. Yeah, Amanda's throwing out 4 too. It is a lot of fun. Very well done by Activision. And with that, let's see our next game. It's time to go to the United Kingdom and play the Sinclair ZX81. This is Hitch-Hiker. Let's take a look at Hitch-Hiker. This has nothing but some screenshots, no box or any other artwork. I believe we have 2 different versions. Let's pop in the cassette tape and play Hitch-Hiker. Oh, yeah, that's a good point. If you think of all the games overall and all the racing games, I would say 3.5. But yeah, 4 for consoles, since we're doing consoles only. All right, let's run this sucker. Hitch-Hiker is what I thought was the very first video game to ever reference Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the book series by Douglas Adams. But it turns out that there was a game back in 1981 for... Did we just crash the game? I think we did. Darn. I'll try it again. So there was a game back in 1981 that was type-in for the Commodore PET that was based on Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Infocom was not the first one to do it. Whenever I do this channel and get into the research, it blows my mind what I think is out there. I thought Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy was the first one, and that was it. But no. There was another one in 1981 that we didn't see. It was some type-in game, but this one is the very first reference on this channel of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. There you go. You just teleported onto a derelict space station. You have no money. The currency is Alterian dollars, and your object, therefore, is to travel around from room to room, gaining as much money as you can whilst trying to stay alive. To help you do this, you have with you a laser pistol, a shield, a torch, the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, HHG, and a babble fish, enabling you to communicate with monsters. You have 20 body points, perfect health, and 200 energy units. A asterisk flashing on the bottom right of the corner means you have to type any letter to continue. So that means I'm going to type any letter right now. Oh, hold it down. I'm on the ZX81. There it is. And we have 10 different commands in this game. So you have to memorize these. They don't display them ever again. Here's our 10 commands. Move, attack, flee, get ready for a different weapon, communicate, turn your shields on and off, use a med kit, status, search the room, and then leave. That's the 10 commands. So it's a menu-based text adventure game, even though we're not using I don't think we're using a real text parser. Your weapon, torch, and shield all use energy. To end the game, return to the teleport room and execute command 10. All right, we push our, there we go, we've entered a new room, and we've started the game. This is a very unique text adventure game. It's going to tell us the room, it's going to tell us our exits, north, south, east, and west, and there's no one in here. So what do we want to do in the room? Okay, we have to memorize the commands, so it's going to ask, which command, 1 to 10, and you have to have written them down. So let's go ahead and do move. I'll push 1, and it says, which way do you want to go? Let's head south. You've entered a new room. This is the workshop. We have exits north and west. There is something in here. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy says it's a faulty droid armed with a neutron blade. Sparks will fly. And then it asks what our command is. Well, I don't know what they're going to do. Let's put our shields up. We'll put 6 for shields. Raise shields. Oh, wait, no, our shield is off. Do you want to change? Yes, I do. I want to turn it on. Your shield is on. All right. Command. Oh, I can do another command. Can we move? Let's see if we can get out of the room with this guy. You can't risk turning your back on the faulty droid. Of course we can't. So in a way, this is a limited adventure game. It's not where you are using your imagination or typing in, trying to figure out what the text parser will work or not read to play the game. This one, you're just following in the commands and making the best decisions you can. All right, so let's go ahead and attack him then. You attack the faulty droid. You hit, doing 2 body points of damage. The faulty droid attacks with its neutron blade. It just missed your arm. Okay, let's do it again. Attack. You attack the faulty droid and hit, doing 4 body points of damage. And it tracks with its neutron blade. It hit, doing 2 points of damage. So this would be what the battle system looks like. Let's attack again. If it takes too long, I'm just going to flee. You hit, doing 2 body points of damage. The faulty droid attacks with its neutron blade, and it missed. It's still not down. This is our first enemy, and we've already done this much damage. Let's go another attack. 4 points, and it dies. Do you wish to search the deceased? Yes. Yes, I do. What do you got? You add its neutron blade to your armory. The faulty droid had partially used power pack, but it was too unintelligent to carry anything else. You have to be smart to carry things in this game? All right, let's go ahead and move to the next room. Yeah, why would it say get ready to use another weapon? I just want to switch to another weapon. All right, let's head south. Oh, there's no exit in the south wall. You also have to remember where the exits were when they displayed them in the room. How clunky is that? All right, so I believe we can do... Let's try 10. You are not in the teleport room. Oh, okay, so you can't use that command unless you want to teleport out and exit the game. That would be the end of the game. All right, so let's move. That wasn't Marvin. Yes, he has a brain the size of a planet. All right, let's head east. Can we go east? No, exit east. So you'd have to remember what the room exits were whenever you came in this room. If that's the case, it should be west, right? You have entered a new room. This is the emergency power room. Exits are east, south, and west. There is something in here. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy says it's a security robot Mark I armed with a laser pistol. Simple. I don't know what that simple means. This doesn't have the same comedy also as the Infocom Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. That was one of the best reasons you would play the game. This one, though, it's obviously the first one we've ever seen. It's not the Infocom one, but that's really not the whole idea. Even if this was a normal text adventure game without as much comedy, this kind of menu-based game is just, it's very bland. Yes, thank you. Keep throwing out as many Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy references as you can. Okay, so we got different room. Let's go ahead and search this one. Can we do search? Will it let us? You can't search with the security robot, of course. All right, let's try to flee then and see what happens if we try to run away. Let's do run away. You flee through the west wall. So we're in the next room now. You've entered a new room. This is the workshop. Oh, we came back where we were before. Are we back with the same? This is, oh gosh, we have someone else here. A Damogranian warriors armed with a laser rifle. Stay away. That means we should flee again. Let's run away. If we try to run in the other room, what happens? You try to flee but fall over. The Damogranian warriors attacks with its laser rifles and does 2 body points of damage. So they almost incorporate very light role-playing elements in the game, but to tell you the truth, even though this is menu-based and it is on the ZX81, which, by the way, look on your keyboard if you have it in front of you, the ZX81 keyboard is not the most ideal. Even on my modern keyboard that I'm playing on now, you have to push and hold, like get it to, please understand that I'm pushing a key, because it takes a little bit of time. So it's very clunky, and then we have this menu-based system that really doesn't make it a very enjoyable system. And you have to memorize the system and the rooms you're in. We played other text adventure games that allow you to see the rooms and exits, lots of different quality of life. This one's almost like a far step backwards playing Hitchhiker. So of all the games you could play at the time, especially for the home computer, I'm going to say this is down really close to the broken or bad range, just because the mechanics in the game are bad. So I'm going to say 1 star for Hitchhiker. While it is the very first reference, there's a better way to implement this kind of game on a home computer, and we've seen it. Oh, and the font, that's true. It was very clear to read. Yes, it does look really good. Nice shout out there. Oh, that's right. And the original radio was 70s, or was it even before that when they did Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? I know it's way before my time. That's nice. Oh, as a book. We'll rate the books here too. No, not really. All right, so that's Hitchhiker. Let's see what's next. We are still in the United Kingdom. This is the Acorn Atom. Oh man, prepare to cross your fingers and toes and see if the game loads. This is Hyperfire. Let's see what Hyperfires are all about, starting with the box or the cassette. This is by Program Power. Now, notice how it says the name of the game typed in. Program Power and some other games we've seen for the Atom were like this. It looks not the highest quality computer release. And then do we have any other artwork for Hyperfire? We have the cassette that we're going to play in. It doesn't even look like the real cassette. Someone uses the cassette for us. Late 70s, nice. Oh, too cool. All right, here we go. Let's try to play some Hyperfire for the Acorn Atom. This is by C. Thompson of Program Power in the beginning of July 1982. Okay, so this one is, we're going to do this a little different. This game is one of the best games you could play for the Acorn Atom. Here we go. Let's play some Hyperfire. It does look like an edutainment title. It is not. All right, here we go. Now the moment of truth. Hyperfire. Now we listen to the sweet sounds of the Acorn Atom cassette tape. In fast forward, obviously. Here we go. We're in. Aliens have overrun 6 planets. Your mission is to clear them from their bases. The alien dumps are 30 points. Aliens are 120. We have Control and Shift. Check your Acorn Atom computer. Keyboard for height. We have the repeat button for fire. Return is thrust. And we have radar and ships are displayed. Really? All that is on the screen? That's awesome. All right, here we go. New mission on planet Nexoi 3. Let's go. All right, I'm getting my controls set here. Got it, nice. Okay, so I can move up, down, left, and right. Look at that, we do have a pseudo radar at the top. The top right, God, the flashing is real. This game right here, while you may not think it's that, this is actually really impressive for the Acorn Atom. To be able to do a pseudo-scrolling game like this is awesome. And we also can fire across. It also feels like I'm playing really, really far away. Like, they increased the resolution of the Acorn Atom somehow. But if you're wondering about the screen, it's because the emulator we're playing on doesn't do well doing a full screen. That's true. Yes, and it is very, very noisy. But you have to think about it. This computer came out by Acorn at the same time that the ZX80 and the ZX81 came out that didn't have any sound at all. So if you were the kid on the playground that had the Acorn Atom when everybody else had the ZX80 and the 81, you were boasting that I can hear stuff from my computer and you can't. Look at that explosion effect. That's awesome. We got the high score, 480 points. And then it just goes right in. New mission on the planet. So this is a Acorn Atom game that allows you to have radar on the top right. You have pseudo-scrolling, like 2D scrolling. Oh man, it's relentless firepower. Look at this. We're getting shots from what looks like off the screen. There we go. I can even move forward if I wanted to. There you go. So of all the games you could play on a home computer, Hyperfire is a very interesting take, because if we were classifying this just as what the Acorn Atom could play, this is up there with like a 4.5-star game for just the Acorn Atom. But sadly, it's going against all the other home computers that are out there. So for Hyperfire, a 2D scrolling game is already really impressive. And this is controlled only with the keyboard. There is no joystick. You have to understand the controls. So I'd say this game would be around the average range of all the other games you could play on the home computer. It has nice effects. It has the scrolling. 2D across is still a novelty. Yes, nothing like an old school sieger. That's right. You're welcome. I tell everyone, if you're watching the show, we're playing games in 1982, so if you are sensitive to flashing lights, you probably need to find another show, or wait a few years when we stop playing games that have a bunch of flashing. So for Hyperfire, I'm going to say that's a 3-star game, a perfectly average title considering all the other games you could play at the time. But man, that's really good for the Acorn Atom. All right. Oh, 2.5, yes, down slightly below average. I'm with you. All right, let's stay in the United Kingdom and play some more on our Commodore VIC-20. This is the release of Johnnie Jumpet. That's right, Johnnie Jumpet, the hero no one asked for. Let's take a look at the box for Johnnie Jumpet. Can we see Johnnie Jumpet? No, we see William Shatner. Go away. There we go. There's Johnnie Jumpet. I don't know. He looks like it's... this looks like a very important art piece, and it's not an arcade game we're going to play. You can play this on the unexpanded VIC, and there's an example of the screenshot. It's time to pop in Johnnie Jumpet by Russ Tabor, published by Computer Software Associates at the beginning of July 1982. Let's go. And this one I'm going to fast forward a little bit. Oh, and it crashed on us. No problem. I was prepared for this. The Commodore VIC-20 has its tricks, but I have mine too. All right, let's press fire and go. Here you go. Johnnie Jumpet is a single-screen platformer for the Commodore VIC-20. While your character is very, very small, I am the humanoid-looking person down on the bottom. Oh no, the rats got me. Really fast. The whole point of the game is you need to get Johnnie Jumpet to the top left where that blue elevator is. You have mice that are crawling around. Mice are all the rage now. And you also have individual bridges that disappear and reappear. I'm going to wait for this mouse to jump out of the way. So you have to make your way up to the top. Oh, and we already fell down the end. Now, it is tile-based, so whenever I move, I'm only moving one tile at a time. So Johnnie doesn't have a lot of movement. As far as jumping, though, that's a completely different story. You have the one button on your Commodore VIC-20 joystick, and whenever you push it, all you do is jump like this. That's what his jump looks like. However, if you combine that pushing the button and the joystick at the same time, he will jump up to the next platform at a diagonal angle. But that's it. If you've heard of platformers where you can jump, but you don't have any control of the character, this is the ultimate. I don't have control of the character. Good. Get down out of the way. I'm going to try to get up here. No, go away. So it's an already difficult climb on the right side. Then you make it to the middle, have to go down to the bridge in the middle, and then make it all the way to the left. So the whole point of the game is You have the luxury of playing a side-scrolling platform that allows you to jump on the Commodore VIC-20. We've already seen Apple Panic, so we've seen a platformer, but they didn't have jumping in that. This one is one of the first rare ones on the Commodore VIC-20. There was one other one we played that allowed you to jump around, but you were playing pretty much as a pixel, not as a slightly humanoid character. Oh, and we fell down. You call this one the best box art of the night? Nice. Keep going all the way. Don't stay on those bridges too long. They disappear. They are not reliable. All right, let's get a jump over here. We'll be safe. Yep, the rat jumps down. Get out of here. Now we can work our way up. Nice and easy. Control is very, very stiff. I wouldn't be picky about it, though, because we haven't seen too many games that want to do this. This is something, because of this perspective and platformers, you would want to play. No, I almost had it. When the rat jumped out, it freaked me out. You want to keep trying over and over again to see how far you can get Johnny Jumpet over to the other side. In my practice playthroughs, I have not made it to the elevator on the other side. It is that difficult because it takes a while to get used to the tile-based movement, and the joystick doesn't respond as often as you'd think. There is fall damage too, so if you fall a certain height, you're going to die. Thanks, Donkey Kong, for that. Quickly, go here, move, quick. Nope, he's not moving. There, okay, now we're safe. We can finally cross the other side, nice and easy. And you shouldn't try to make this jump. You will not cross that gap. You have to go down this side, make it easy, fall down, yep, easy. We're doing it. We can also pick up this, whatever that is. I don't know what the item was. All right, now we got to make sure that the rat does not get us. Just fall down the hole, buddy. Do it. No, no. And he just got lucky because the bridge is random. Oh, yes, we have played Radar Rat Race. That one's excellent. It's like Rally X. It was done originally as Rally X for the Commodore 1001 in Japan, or the Commodore VIC-20. And then we played both versions, the actual Rally X and then Radar Rat Race. No, you're not speaking crazy future speak. It's already out. Oh, yes, barely made it by. And see right there, that is because of when you try to move the joystick on your VIC-20, it sometimes responds, sometimes doesn't. So it's a little clunky, but this still is a novelty to play like this, being able to have a character that jumps. Even though it's one of the clunkiest jumping mechanics we've seen them much better on the home computer, and even better on the console. Consoles, they're getting platformers down faster than computers. Even when you got really original ones like Cannonball Blitz or Canyon Climber. Nice and easy. Okay, good. Yes. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, we're going across the bridge. Nice and easy. I'm not going to try to go across or jump to the bottom until I know that rat's out of the way. Because once the rat dies, it immediately shows up at the top. Look at that. So you got to make your way really fast. Yep, see, the bridge appeared again. I would have been dead. Go. What? The bridge appeared and disappeared so fast. Yeah, it's something you would want to keep playing, though. If you had a Commodore VIC-20, it would be fun. And that's what the game looks like when it crashes. All right, yeah, so for all the games you could play on a Commodore VIC-20, this is up there in the 4-star range. However, we have played every single game on a home computer thus far, and we've seen other platformers that do play and run better. This, I'm still going to say, is a 3.5-star game. This is above average title for all the games you could play on a home computer. What would you say? Is it an average, around 3 stars of all the games you could play on a home computer? Or is this something even higher than that? Would you rate this as one of the best games you could play on a home computer? Or do you say, this is terrible? Is this bad? Is this around the 2-star range? That's where the comments come in. Yes. Yeah, I would say slightly frustrating, but I can't really make that the draw because I still had a good time playing it. I wanted to see what was on the other side and if I could do it. Meet the challenge. All right, after Johnny Jumpet, we are still in the United Kingdom. Still on our Commodore VIC-20, and this is Jumpin' Jack. Let's take a look at Jumpin' Jack, starting with the box. Jumpin' Jack. I guess we're playing as the frog, right? Cross the busy road and treacherous river to get Jack home. Multicolor high-res color. Why does everything say high-res? No one really knows what high-res is at the time. For unexpanded VIC-20, color computer with joystick or keyboard control. We don't have any more information for Jumpin' Jack. Aside from that cassette we're going to pop in, let's play Jumpin' Jack by Livewire Software at the beginning of July 1982. Oh, Punk Rock's going 2 or 3. Yeah, I can see that as well. The platformers, though, are so hot right now. It's a different experience, and it's fun to play, being able to move around and jump. That's right. You bet it is. Let's see, do we get any... Now, this is kind of interesting. See the screen right here? Wouldn't you think the game's frozen or crashed? There isn't any fast loading or animation around the outside like you're familiar with on Commodore 64 yet. There's only a few titles, but this here looks like the game's crashed. Like there's nothing happening. Oh, you would just have to know to wait, and now we have the ditty. No way. Is that what I think it is? Please tune into your public domain bingo, music bingo here in Chronologically Gaming. All right, so we're not going to wait to load Jumping Jack. I have another save state we're going to load so we can go right in. We can use keyboard or joystick to play. I believe that was that Superman? All right, let's hit F1 to start, and we're in. Jumpin' Jack is a Frogger variant. Check it out. Wow, with music. It's not the arcade music, too. This plays really well for the VIC-20. The only other Frogger we've seen officially at home is on the NEC PC 6001 in Japan. So this is pretty good, though, for being able to play Frogger at home. We haven't seen the release of the Cornsoft Froggers. We haven't seen the release by Sierra for home computers. This is before all that. I love the Frogger emojis, or frog emojis. Look great. This is amazing. There's music. Not like it's the best music, but any music while you're playing the game is amazing. It's incredible. It's so rare. Don't think I'm gonna make it. The logs look like giant turds, though. They're animated by tile-based, so it's not really doing any favors. But I mean, look at this. And I'm using the joystick to play. I'm playing a joystick to play Frogger on my VIC-20, and I'm getting run over. I can't place the sound unless they're making something original for the game. There we go. Let's clear the screen. And this was in the United Kingdom, so this would be a real treat. There it is. Oh yeah, we got the car speeding up for the next level. You can hear the sound effects of the car revving up. There's no animation for Frogger, or I'm sorry, Jumpin' Jack, but the gameplay works. The only other Frogger that you could play at home, or any kind of Frogger to play at home, was the best one we've seen so far is Pacific Coast Highway. If you haven't heard of that or seen that one, check the links down below for the games we've already played. Pacific Coast Highway is a 2-player simultaneous Frogger game that you could play at home before the official Frogger showed up. It's so cool. Look at this. Music and Frogger, that's awesome. If you've tuned into the show, I'm already a big fan of Frogger, so having this before would be really fun. There's obviously better Frogger variants we could play, but Jumpin' Jack's all right. That is pretty cool. So of all the games you could play on a home computer, that's above average. I'm going to say 3.5 stars. It's not up there with something super amazing, but it is the experience of Frogger that you could play at home. Nice. One of the first experiences you could have had Jumping Jack in the United Kingdom, too. Oh, yeah, look that one up, because we will be seeing that one. And that's a good point, Victor. Maybe they did just change a few songs or splice things together, because I can't pinpoint it. It's almost like a song starts and then a different one finishes it. And Punk ranks with me on 3.5. Very nice. All right. Well, are we still in the United Kingdom? Yes, we are. We're not leaving anytime soon. We're back on the Sinclair ZX81. This is Lunar Rescue. They're not pulling any punches. It just sounds exactly like the arcade game. Let's take a look at the cassette cartridge for Lunar Rescue. You only need 16K for this. Nice. On the ZX81. Flip it over. Yes, by Microgen. Love it. Very, very simple. This is the kind of box artwork I'm expecting from home computers. Not super impressive. And other artwork we have for Lunar Rescue. We also have instructions. Load the program in the usual way. I don't think I've heard that one. What's the usual way? Every time you load on the ZX81, it's not the same. The file name is Rescue. You may use the keyboard. Answer K or J on the initial prompt. The object of the game is to rescue groups of humanoids from the surface of the moon by transferring them to the mothership in a lunar module. You'll have to descend through an asteroid storm to one of 3 landing... we've heard this before. They've been prepared for you. Initiate and control your descent with the thrust key. When you've landed, one of the humanoids will climb to the middle, which immediately takes off again. Your ascent to the mothership will be hindered by waves of aliens. So not only is this the game Lunar Rescue, this is arcade port coming to your ZX81 of Lunar Rescue. After each group is rescued, the game continues with increasing difficulty, but also increased bonuses. Check out the controls. You have to play on the ZX81, so you're using the keyboard only. As S, right, and then 0 to... Oh, it's 5. Sorry, 5 is right and left, because that's the cursor keys for the ZX81. And then 0 is thrust. And then there's our points and bonuses. Happy landings. That's nice. Nice touch, Microgen. All right, time to pop in that cassette and play. We'll pop in the cassette, put the cassette into your ZX81, and play Lunar Rescue by Kevin Bazant, published by Microgen in the beginning of July 1982. Yes, that's another game that we're going to see later, is the other Jumping Jack. Here we go. So this is kind of cool. This is the very first ZX81 game that asks you to use a joystick. Most of the games are all keyboard, so this one's most likely using a Kingston, or I don't think the Kingston is reliable. This might be using a cursor joystick, but that's pretty cool. We're going to pop in the Kingston joystick to play. If we weren't playing, here is the keyboard. The cursor keys are at the top, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and then 0 is what you would use if you were keyboard only. All right, let's go. I want to go with joystick for the first time. Let's play the joystick. Look at this. So cool. Get on the landing pad. Yep, get our craft. Where's my shot? Got it. Oh, and I crashed coming back up. We still have no sound, but the joystick is a nice touch. Very first game we've ever seen to use the joystick. I don't think I'm going to make it. Nope, got to time it right. And it's Lunar Rescue. While the graphics are rudimentary, it's there. Gameplay is miss the pad. You got to time it right. Game over. Let's try it again. Make through the asteroid field. Oh, I haven't tested the thrust. And the spaceship stops for us. That's nice. Okay, so let's drop on this pad here. Oh, there we go. So look at this. The thrust just makes your letter A hover in midair. That's all it is. Yeah, do you remember Lunar Rescue? I believe we played it 8 times. It's almost like someone... Oh, missed it. We're going to play an arcade game that comes out that's really fun. I'll be very impressed. And then we repeat that arcade game probably 20 times on home computers. And then after the home computers get it, then we see it later on consoles. They do give us 3 lives, which is kind of nice. But look at this. The thrust, I'm just holding down, and all it does is hover. You can see on the top right, there's my fuel. So does fuel use up shots? Let's see. No, it doesn't. Okay. And then go for the next one. Now, if you were a owner of the ZX81, this would be a very fun game to play. It wouldn't hold enough attention compared to the other releases we've seen, but I say the biggest thing this has going for it is it's the first one to allow you to use a joystick. If you weren't one of the rare people that actually had a cursor joystick here on the to play on the ZX81. That's what's bumping this up. Otherwise, I'd say this was a slightly bad game or poor game. That's true. Lots of strobes. If you are sensitive to that stuff, close one eye. I don't want anybody having problems going back to 1982. So this is Lunar Rescue. I'd say of all the games, if it didn't have the joystick, I'd just say 2 stars. But because of the joystick control here, I'll say 2.5. It's still around pretty average, all the games we've seen up to this point. Slightly below average. All right, and with that, let's see what's next. It's time to go to the arcade and play Macho Mouse. Let's see what Macho Mouse is all about, starting with the artwork. If you were getting an advertisement flyer, it's really not an advertisement flyer. This is a conversion kit. Macho Mouse was an original arcade system, and you turned your arcade system into Macho Mouse. So you added, you can see the marquee there, the control panel. You created Macho Mouse by Techstar. I believe this was the conversion kit for another game we saw by Taito called Super Mouse. So if you want to see the links down below, Super Mouse, very similar graphics and very similar intro. And I think that converted this to Macho Mouse. And there's the cabinet. If you did put all the pieces together, oh, that's not even a full... I think they only did the control panel. None of the other stuff is there for Macho Mouse. Notice how the sides don't have anything because it converges. Oh, we got a fan. Yes. All right, so we got an 8-way joystick, and we have 1 button, and that's our bomb. Our marquee, and example of the screenshot. I like how the bomb works in this one. Let's go to the arcade and play Macho Mouse by Techstar at the beginning of July 1982. Now the answer to the age-old question, what do you get when you combine Pac-Man with Amidar? You get Macho Mouse. And because he's showing off so impressively, I'm going to move myself over there. Macho Mouse, it looks like Chuck E. Cheese's brother flexing. And it's going to go through the attract mode and show how you play. It is a top-down maze game, but it has some secret passages indicated by those small stairs on the sides. As you walk around, you're creating a path to collect the flags. Once you collect flags, it completes the path, and if you do a whole circuit, it puts the face of Macho Mouse in there. And it has this little bonus round that comes in between it. Oh, yes. The wood paneling. I missed that wood paneling. We saw a lot more when we were in the 70s playing games. It's slowly starting to fade away, and it almost brings a tear to my eye. Let's put some money in and play Macho Mouse. There it is. Complete the circuit, looking good. And we also have our bomb. If we want to drop that, it does this. And I exploded on myself. He falls over very lazily, though. You have to make sure you keep moving with the bomb. There you go. So the way the bomb works is, it is a remote bomb. So you can push the button once to drop the bomb, and then when you decide, you push the button again and it explodes. So nice touch. Oh, they trapped me in. They got me. That's true. It's the reverse of Pac-Man. At least I'm not dropping the pellets constantly behind me. It's only whenever you collect the flags, so if you get as far as the flags, then you're good. Look at that, it even captures and clears the grid away. We're on a roll! We are the Macho Mouse. That's right. And here's the bonus round. You also get a bonus round. Let's go now. 2 cats, I got 500 points, nice. This would be the cutscene. Very lucky Macho. We are Macho Mouse. Chuck E. Cheese can suck it. Right now, Nolan Bushnell. I wonder if Nolan Bushnell knew about this. He was running Chuck E. Cheese. Or has he sold it by now? I can't remember the time frame. But Chuck E. Cheese should know about this. Oh, and we're down again. Qbert is not yet. I don't know what you mean by Qbert. What is this Qbert you speak of? And we're going in again. Qbert will be arriving, I believe November, but don't quote me on that. It'll be... I don't think it's summer, though. I think we're going to see Qbert after the summer. It is interesting that this is an 8-way joystick because you don't need it, but because it's an 8-way joystick, it feels a lot better to move around the grid. Oh, I missed him. And the explosion has to totally disappear or you're gonna die. Not cool, man. love the secret passages. The only creature that can go in the secret passages is the snake. So you have a few things to think about, but it plays really well. It's really fun. And it's also before a game called Sinbad's Treasure, which will be by Sega, and that hasn't arrived yet either. But it reminds me of Sinbad's Treasure because it is allowing you to move in almost an alternate space than the normal maze. Yes, 800 points. Nice touch with the slot machine. Oh yeah, I think it is October. Very lucky, Macho. Next round, change up the maze a little bit. Notice how we have less hidden passages. Can I hide? Yeah, look, I can do one of these, maybe. Oh, but the snake came right for me. They're on to me. The top middle of the screen shows you how many bombs you have left. You can keep blowing up those bombs, and I really like how you can drop the bomb and decide when you want to explode. Yeah, very nice. That's also what makes it easier, a little more fun. Oh, that cat, he totally got me. Not so macho now. Oh yes, Pixel. You're talking about the Adam Sandler one, right? Now I'm actually concerned when I get to Q*bert. I wonder if I'm not going to think the gameplay is that impressive because we've seen so much already in the arcade and on the home computer, more than I've ever seen. But to tell you the truth, one of the reasons why when we got to Miss Pac-Man, I rated that one so high is because of the influence. How many people that know about it and have played it. So I rated it higher. I'm probably going to have to do the same with Q*bert. This is a lot of fun. I want to keep staying in the arcades and playing it. Simple premise. Once you understand the mechanics, you want to try better using the bombs. You realize whenever you die, it's because you didn't do something intelligently. You didn't look ahead, you didn't see where the enemies were, that kind of thing. Look at that. That's how you bomb them. Now we're playing like a true Macho Mouse. Okay, we'll slip by there. The cat's coming down. And I like how you can capture, too. Got that one, yes. 2 cats going down. Oh, the snake! Oh, that was the last flag. Is that our last life? Okay, we can still go up and get it. Quick, quick, quick! Take him out! Now, while we've seen more impressive arcade games, this is still a really good one. Combining multiple games together, that's how you gotta get ahead right now. Or try something futuristic like Zaxxon. Zaxxon was like we played a game from 1985. It was awesome. That's true. Maybe there is. All right, so that is Macho Mouse on the arcade. All the games you could play up to this point on the arcade, it's up there. It's a very, very fun game. I like how it combines multiple things we've seen before on separate games, but puts them all together in one. I'm going to go all the way up with 4 stars for Macho Mouse. Executes and plays really fun. It's not up there like with all the Golden Age arcade games, but still great. Let's see, we got a 3 from Errol, 4 Punk Rock, very nice. Yeah, play it for yourself. I think the choice doing the 8-way joystick, because it's a conversion kit, makes it a little bit easier and smoother, almost like I'm playing Pac-Man whenever I go through the corners. Yeah, we get the slots to gamble, that's right. All right, after Macho Mouse, let's see what our next game is. We're back on the Atari VCS. This is Marauder. Let's take a look at Marauder, starting with the box. Oh, yes, I've been waiting for this one. We've already seen Marauder on the Apple II and the Atari 800 computers by Sierra Online, and here it is ported to the Atari. Let's flip it over on the back. Same artwork, too. Look at this. Yes, looks so nice for a home console. Alien robots have invaded. You must make your way to safety and recapture the cosmic treasure. Maneuver your way through 6 different mazes. Watch out for the alien robots hidden throughout the mazes. Shoot them, or they will shoot you. Time is against you. The ultimate experience in alien invasion on Tigervision. Yes, so good. Well, they took it from the computer box art, so it's the same. Let's see the other artwork for Marauder. So this was ported over by Tigervision. That's why they're all over the place, but it's essentially the same game that we saw on the home computer. This one is the back of the European box, and then we also have the ad you would have seen in Europe with along some other ones by Tigervision. I think we haven't seen any. This is the first one. This is the very first release for the home console by Tigervision. Look at the ones coming. Threshold, Jawbreaker, those are all great. King Kong, that's another good one. There's the cartridge. Notice how it's a different color than the usual ones you expect on the 2600. Nice touch.
Then it's because of its new low price?
Yes, that's right. This one has a different one. Let's take a look at the manual for Marauder. This leaves out the beginning, and when you play it on the computer, you have an opening, and then you go down in the base, but this is just inside the base. You've landed on an alien planet, penetrated the enemy base, defending by armed attacked robots. Your mission is to find your way to the heart of the base and destroy the power center of the enemy's weapon system. Robots pursue you through the halls and corridors from room to room as their sensors detect your presence. They fire at you from all corners. It's a race against time to find the power center as you shoot back, defending yourself against the onslaught. Use the joystick. It's only one player. Make sure the console unit's turned off and choose your game selection. It shows you down at the bottom what the game selections are. When you're ready to play, you hit the reset switch, get your controller, and you can move all around, almost like you're playing a Berserk game, which hasn't officially come out yet on Atari. And you can also move diagonally and fire. And then we also have the gauge down at the bottom showing you the power center of the enemy base before it runs out. You have to destroy the power center, find it, destroy it, and then you go to the next level. You start the game with 3 Marauders. When your 3rd Marauder is killed, the game is over. The number of Marauders remaining displayed on the left side of the TV screen. Every time you find and destroy the power center, you're rewarded an extra Marauder. And the robots. When you start the game, there's 4 enemy robots that can be positioned in each of the 6 rooms of the base. The robots won't be visible when a wall lies between them and the Marauder, so be careful. You may turn a corner and find yourself face to face with one. If you leave a particular room without killing all the robots in that room and then return later, the robots you had left will still be there, though they will have moved around. The power center room is an exception, however. If you leave that, the robots come back. And there's even in some rooms magic armor. They added this for the home console version. Yes, I started in 1971 playing every game in order of release, and here we are in July of 1982. Oh, LJN. Who was the LJN? I'm going to say Apollo was the LJN of the 2600. And we also have different levels of difficulty, and we'll explain those down below, how the scoring works, and then color and black and white switch is not used. So there you go. The switch of difficulty is just giving you how fast the robots go. And that's it. Thanks, Tigervision.
That's it, right?
For other versions, this was in PAL regions as well as in North America, NTSC regions. Let's pop it and play Marauder by Tigervision. Rourke Rigant ported this over from online systems, published by Tigervision. And here's how the game is played. I'm going to do game mode 1 and hit reset. This is just the second mode. Did we get the armor? Oh, we got the magic armor. So lucky. That's awesome. So the way this game works is it's only the mode that was after the first part of the game. So whenever we played it on computers, you had a whole section before this, landed on the planet, and then went in to blow everybody up. But it still employs the same mechanics. Notice that the robots don't appear until you go around the corner. Watch. Oh, there he is. And if I go around, he's going to pop around. So it has a slight stealth mechanic as you break your way around. So I don't know who's going to be here. Looks like I got the 4 robots there. So as long as they're in your line of sight, they show up on the screen. Really, really cool idea. And control and movement, feels even better than the computer. Probably because we're playing on the 2600. But look at this. So cool. So moving room to room, very similar to Berserk, but you have this objective. Yes. And you find the core, blow the core up, and then you move on to the next level. You got slightly different enemies. Oh, there's our armor. Go, go, go. Got it. But what really sets this apart is how you can't see around the corner right there. And you got to use a little bit of stealth to make your way around. Nice to say. I like that. Atari was its own LJN. That's awesome. I'm more familiar with LJN. It is the obviously Angry Video Game Nerd has made fun of it. It was the downfall of several people's games on the Nintendo Entertainment System. But I'm just talking crazy talk. I don't know what the Nintendo Entertainment System is. That's years away. Where is the power core? Nope, get away. I'm playing on level 1. If you go even harder than that, the robots are really fast and even more tricky to take out because as soon as they come around the corner, they put more of them out there and their bullets move faster. So it's almost like you're playing a quick draw event. You go around the corner and then the enemy's there and you got to fire really fast. Makes it a lot of fun. And every time you play, the core is going to be in a different spot. Oh, give me that. Yes, got it. So now we have protective armor. That's different from the computer version. Alright, so this one, don't miss out on this one. It was already an awesome game on the computer by Sierra Online, and here brought home by Tigervision. They did a great port. It is a very, very fun game. Yes, I won't forgive LJN either for that. It's terrible. Yes. Yeah, now this one plays better as far as control-wise than the other ones we played last week, Mark. All right, so Marauder, I'm going to have to go way up. This is an awesome game. Really, really fun for the Atari 2600. Already seen 4 stars thrown out there. I'm going to say I'm going to start at 4. I could even say, would you tell yourself this is one of the best games you could play on a home console at the time? I don't know if I can go that far. I do say 4 stars. It is an excellent title, one of the a very, very good one for the home system, and especially for the Atari VCS. Marauder is a good time. Don't miss out on this one. Hours and hours of fun. Oh yeah, the older version did have the other game mode, but it was on computers, so we gave that one 4 stars. I would say that one would be the better release than this, but this is only for everything you could play on a home console. All right, it is time to put our video game playing on pause. Hit the break key, hit spacebar. Of all the games you could play in 1982, how would you rate these games? Please let me know in the chat. Let's tune in next episode for some more releases on your Commodore VIC-20 and the arcade port that nobody asked for. That's it for today, and like I always say, a retro game a day keeps the doctor away. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if we missed any games along the way. This video would not be possible without Launchbox, RetroArch, and MAME. Tell all your friends there's some crazy guy named Chronologically Gaming trying to play every single video game. We have links down below that'll send you to places like our Discord and Patreon, and one that says all the video games we've ever played. If you go there, it's a list of everything, and you can click right to the game you want to see. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We are perpetually retro, and we will catch you next time.